We are live. Yes. Here we go. Here we go. So, buzzing for this one tonight, guys. The man himself, Mr. Scott Malone. Another great son of the Dundee, the mighty Dundee, city of discovery. This is it. So, as we're, yep, come on in. As you're jumping in, guys, drop a little comment. Give us a little fist bump. Say hello, because absolutely buzzing for this one tonight. So, as I says, absolutely sweating, just out of the shower. But as I says, buzzing to have Scotty on the night. Great story. And I'm going to bring him over, hit this button, and bring him on the live. Bim. Here we go. Scotty, you're live. How you doing, my man?
Not too bad, mate. Yourself?
Yes. Good. How you been keeping, mate?
All right now. Had a few wobblers through the lockdown, but yeah, keeping not too bad. Yourself?
What has it actually been like for you, mate? Because that's 12 weeks now, eh?
12 weeks. Come on, to be honest, right, at the start, I was like, I was kind of driving us a wee bit insane because I couldn't do nothing. But because I just came off a fight as well, so I was kind of, you usually do that anyway. Again, for the first 2 weeks, it was all right. And then it started to get a pain in the ass because I couldn't go back into my normal routine. But then it started just wearing on us a lot, and it was just getting heavy depressed, man. I went through a stage of being like proper down. But now I'm feeling, I've started to take the positives out of everything and be thankful for the sort of time that I've had with the kids and the time that I've been able to finish the gym, etc. and everything. I've been sort of thankful, but at the same time, I just want to get back to normality, man.
Because you're mate, it's been a crazy time. And we've been the same, Ken, for probably the first couple of weeks. It was like a holiday. The next couple of weeks, you were sort of like in that grateful sort of gratitude mode where it was like, oh, Ken, I'm getting to spend time. But as the weeks have went on, you're like, wow, this isn't real life, Ken. It's like, come on, let's get me back.
That's it, mate.
So, what about the last couple of weeks? How are you going? Now you're back training.
Well, I've sort of just started training again today. I've had my break. I was always meant to be taking a wee break out, because of obviously what's been happening with the fighting. Anyway, I was me and my coaches, management and stuff had spoke, and we were like, right, we'll take a wee break, gather your shit together, and then we'll get back into training. We'll see where we go for there. Because even after my last fight, it was like, nah, it's it. It's over. I was in a huff pretty much. I was like, fuck it, I'm not doing this. But then about 3 days later, I'm like, I'm fucking feeling shit without not being able to train. And this extended things made me realise that obviously no training's it's killing me. You know what I mean? So even if I'm maybe no fight again, which I will, but if not, then I'm still going to be training. I still need to do something. I still enjoy it too much to let it go. And I think I've been quite unlucky recently. And
here, mate, like, Scott, what age are you? Still only 33?
32, mate.
32. Adding on time for you there, but still only 32, mate, and especially at the weight that you fight at and the sport that you're in, you've still got a long career ahead.
Mm-hmm. I hope so. I'm hoping so.
Well, we'll come back to that, all right? We'll come back to that, but I just want to jump right back to the very start, mate, because Curtin boy.
Yeah, born and bred.
And so because it all started with judo, mate. So talk me through it. How did you get into it, and what was the journey?
Right. So starting judo was actually a woman, Marion, came along to school. She had purple spiky hair. Mrs. Neil, if you went to Baldragon, you'll know who she is. But she came along to the school, and I hadn't even heard the judo, nothing before. She was just like basically gave her flyers, and that was it. And I'd only heard, and then a couple of my pals, James Provost, a couple other people that I was going about at the time, they're like, come and try this judo. I was like, fuck that, judo chops. And everybody does. So I was like, I'm not going to that. And eventually they're like, come on, it's good, it's really good. We get to play dodgeball and everything, so we'll come along. We ended up going along, and I liked it, but then it was all thrown, and I was obviously tiny at the time. I was like, what age was it? 11 I was. And everybody,
first year.
Sorry?
Were you first year?
I think it was like the summer holidays, just before I went into first year. And everybody's huge, and I kept getting thrown in my head, and I was like, nah, I'm not doing this. I'm not going back. And I quit. So I quit for about maybe 6 weeks. And James is like, the coach is saying that you're good. You should come back. So I was like, all right, okay, I'll go back. Ever since then, I started going back. I started to enjoy it a wee bit more because at the start, we didn't have any judo suits, we didn't have any gis or nothing. So it was just like throwing each other with our t-shirts. You know what I mean? Just wee minks with curtain, we're getting our clothes ripped. But I ended up a year later, but eventually like done my first competition and I won gold. And then ever since then, I was just started like loving winning basically. And that was it. I fell in love with judo. So from there.
Did the competitions, were they better for you, Scott? Because obviously you would have been fighting against people you're in weight, but in training, were you always against people who were bigger?
That was it. Like I think it was like 30 kilos or something with the first competition. At time. So I was a wee skinny guy, and then I started fighting at under 34 kilo. It was my first proper competition, and that was when obviously I was at 34 kilos. Everybody else was like 46, 50 kilos, and that doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're a kid, that's a big jump.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, when I go into competitions, all these guys that I'm throwing in the competitions, I'm used to fighting all these big guys, so it was a wee bit easier. But yeah, and I just loved winning competition, winning the medals. I would bring a medal home, or I'd bring this trophy home, and that was for me what kept me going. Like,
so finding out that you were actually good at it and bringing him the trophy, that's what spurred you on.
Mm-hmm. I think every competition that I went to, I ended up winning gold until about a year and a half in. I got beat in a final. I was devastated. I was absolutely devastated. I got silver, which is still decent, but I was absolutely devastated that I got beat, and I couldn't believe that I got beat. And obviously, it made us just want to get gold again. So I just trained even harder and just went back to the next competition and got gold. So yeah.
How often were you fighting? Like competitions every Sunday or every second week?
It wasn't every week, but it was like sometimes you take 4 in a month, sometimes you take 2 in a month, sometimes you take 3. You know what I mean? So it was just depending really what competition landed on that weekend. But it was regular. It was there'd be maybe 3-week gap where you've not got a competition. You know what I mean? At the most.
Was that Scotland, or did you go south of the border as well?
Scotland to start off with. So there's these things called mini-mons. So that was like orange belt and below. So I went to the mini-mons, and what was that? I think it was. I started winning like the bigger sort of better competitions in Scotland, and then I wanted to fight the Scottish Championships, and a week out, or I think it was 2 weeks out for the Scottish Championships, it was a Bronco to swing, fell and broke my wrist. So I missed the Scottish Championships the first year round, and the guy that I trained with at the time, in Blair Gilbery, he ended up getting a bronze. So I was even more gutted because I knew I could beat him. You know what I mean? So that put me in, wanted to win even more. So
it's interesting that you say that. So through like the wee losses that you've had and like missing out on things, that spurred you on more. That's like I speak to the girls all the time because obviously they're dancers and they're the same. Coming in with trophies all the time, and when they didn't win, for that 24 hours on the back at it, they're like their heads are right down, and then they come back. They're like, right, that's it. I've got to go again.
There's nothing more devastating than being beaten. When you put all that hard work in, you know you've worked hard for it, and to be taken away from you, and then you realise like maybe I've not worked as hard as I could have worked. You know what I mean? So that's when you start trying to be a bit harder. I think you learn obviously most for your losses or your mistakes, even in life. You know what I mean? So
I think like obviously I played football. I've done a wee bit of martial arts, but I was never competitive. But that's what I love about individual sports, where you've got to take the defeat on the chin a bit more, and you've got to build up that resilience a wee bit more than playing football, because your games came thick and fast in football. And if you got beat, you were right in a game like the very next week, and it's different. And I just think that that competition base, where it's an individual sport as well, it sort of builds up that bounce back ability, I think.
Because you're the only one to blame. If it's an individual sport, you're the only person to blame. You know what I mean? On that day, you're just maybe not as good. Whereas obviously football, I'm not that many good at football, but like obviously you've got 10 other players on the park with you. So like if 2 players or 1 player is playing really shit, then that could let your whole team down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Football player here.
The what?
It's pro football player here.
Nah, cool. So obviously you're winning tournaments and that, mate. When did you like, really, I'm actually good at this. I'm going to give this a bash.
So the following year after the Scottish, I started going like doing England, and I was winning competitions in England and stuff. And I went to the Scottish the following year and I ended up getting gold. So this is what used to happen. It doesn't happen now. But when you won silver or gold at the Scottish, you got an invitation for the British. So when I went to the British, I think that's like a month later or something, I ended up getting silver for the first British. And that's, I know a lot of Scottish guys used to medal at the British, so it was quite cool. So there was that. But the guy that beat us, he was like, I was the youngest. It was like age category, so it was like, I think it was like 13, 14 or something. And I was only 13, but the other guy was 14.
Yeah.
But really, because my birthday was in December, I was right at the end of I was as literally as young as you could be.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right.
If I was born a week later, then I'd be in the age band below.
Lower,
Yeah. So I ended up I got the silver, and I was happy with the silver. But then again, the year later, I got the gold.
So the year later, you were in the same age. So the year later, did you remain in the same age category?
Same age category, yeah.
Same age category, yeah.
I'd went up in weight. I think it was 38 kilos or something at the time. And I think I went up to 42 kilos at that. But I remember being 50 kilos at 16.
50 kilos.
50 kilos. That's how weird it was, man. It's horrible.
Man.
The following 2 years, I won it that year, and then the following 2 years, I think I won it again. And I won like British schools and just like loads of wee competitions in between there as well. Once you win the British Championships and stuff like that, you get in the British squad. You used to go and train down in England. I used to go down to Kendal. So we'd go down to Kendal and we'd sleep over on the mats. Sorry, that's gassy as fuck. Just sleep on the mats. And then the next day, hello?
You got visitors as well?
Yeah, visitors. The next day, we'd need to travel down to like High Wycombe, which is pretty much the bottom of England, man. We'd get up at 5 o'clock, we'd have our sleeping bags and we'd sleep in the back of the minibus, and it was nuts. It was funny because you used to go down on, I think it was the Friday night, and you'd go there and you'd play like football, and nobody would sleep ever, and everybody would be sleeping in this one big hall in sleeping bags, and there'd always be the one person that would just make stupid noises. And when you're a kid, it was just be funny. You know what I mean? So it was hilarious. So by the time you actually got to Scottish British squad training, you'd be like that. You'd be knackered for the night before. We always slept on the way back. Every time, everybody slept the whole way. It was good fun.
When did funding and that start coming in for you then, Scott? Because here the money could start to mount up as a big expense, because there's a lot of travel and everything that's involved there.
Yeah, well, I was lucky, right? And I honestly cannot thank the guy enough. Mark was my coach at the time. Bob, right? He used to like pay a lot for us. We were just wee boys for kitting, but didn't have a lot of money. You know what I mean? Single mum. Obviously, I know my dad and everything, but my mum and dad weren't together, so it was like single mum. She would give us money, But then it was like Mark was paying for pretty much everything for us, and it was that to me like the most grateful thing ever. If it wasn't for him, he used to come and pick us up. And my mum still can't to this day cannot drive, so he used to come for Perth.
Kev was decent as well, wasn't he? Your brother.
Kev was he won the Scottish Championships as well, so both of them were good. My mum never came to one competition. She
never came to one football game I played when I was young either. Not one.
She was too scared. She was like, I didn't want to go. I didn't want to see you fighting. But yeah, so if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be where I am today. 100%. He's done loads for me, so it's thankful for that.
That's good.
He used to help a lot financially. He used to he'd take with to McDonald's and everything after competitions and stuff like just like stupid wee things, but it all mounts up. You know what I mean? Like there was 4 of us. It was usually me, Kev, Ricky, and James was sort of the 4 that went about, and that you would take everywhere. And like, although it was only like £4 or something. You know what I mean? He's probably spending 20 quid, but this 20 quid's coming every sort of weekend, and he'd buy us on McDonald's, and it was just like, I mean, it's just a stupid wee thing, but it's just, it was brilliant on him to do. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I couldn't thank the guy enough for that.
That's good. Was he sort of like a mentor for you as well, Scott?
Yeah, he was definitely. He always fucking took the piss. Still does to this day, and we always get good crack in that. So, yeah, it was down to him that my judo career took off. Like, if he never took us to the competitions, then I wouldn't have been able to get there, 100%.
Cool. So moving on, what was like the next big step?
I'd say I started going abroad. I can't remember what age it was. Probably about 17 or something. I'd won a big competition in Amsterdam. It was. I'd won that. Medalled in Germany. Medalled in Belgium. A couple of other ones I didn't even medal because it was like the standard was really good abroad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As soon as you go abroad, it was always like they were all killers. It was different rule set as well because they were allowed to do like you were allowed to choke and you were allowed to arm lock from the age of 13 abroad, but in Britain you could only choke and arm lock from 16. So when we were under 16 and training abroad, it was different rules. So you weren't really used to getting choked in that. You know what I mean? So they were obviously used to that, but yeah, for there we're winning medals abroad. I think when I was 18, we went over to Canada. Well, done like a 4-week training camp sort of thing. So we went over to Canada, done 2 weeks in Canada. I think was that 18? I was 18. So that's when I'm a name drop here. That's when I met Ronda Rousey.
Oh, aye.
So I was literally training with Ronda Rousey. Before she obviously done any sort of MMA, but yeah. So we were over there for 2 weeks, and then we competed at the end of the 2 weeks. I got to the semi-finals, and then I got beat for bronze, so I got a 5th. The following week, we flew straight to Sweden, done a week training camp, competed again at the end of the week. I think I got beat my first fight, and then that guy got beat, so that was me fucked. And then on the last week, it was in Finland, and I managed to snap up a bronze, and that was at the time was like a really big tournament, you know what I mean? And I ended up beating the guy that was like, although we fought cadets, that was like under 16s or whatever it was. The guy who I beat was the youths champion, so he was like under 19s champion, you know what I mean? So I ended up beating him, and he was obviously favourite to beat me, but I ended up beating him, so that was quite cool.
That's cool. Your ages were Ronda Rousey?
I think she's a year older than me or something, maybe 2.
She went on to get Olympic bronze, was it? Olympic bronze.
Yeah, I think she.
Her mum was a gold medal winner as well, was she?
She won the World Championships as well, yeah.
World Championships, Cool. So, what age were you when you went to the Commonwealth Games?
2006. So many years does that ago? 14.
Is that when you were working with me and Bugs?
I think it was.
About that time.
It was about that time.
I made a couple of schoolboy errors of trying to heavy wrestle with you a couple of times and ended miserably. Oh, good.
I still remember it to this day, throwing you on your back.
You were a bit, I don't know, Cam.
I
You were a bit pocket weight. I was about 17 stone. Next minute, I was like.
Well, I won that in 2006, and 2008 came along. I'd won competitions, I'd lost competitions. I was steady winning medals, and one of I think it was the Commonwealth qualifiers, but it was one competition that I never turned up for. This was 2009. No, this was 2008. At the start of the year, and I missed it. And it was like, at the time, I was like finding out that I was waiting to be a dad and stuff. So I ended up missing the competition. And they took the guy that was younger because it was cheaper for them to do it, because he was doing the youths and the seniors at the same time. So that was when I decided to say, like, fuck this, I'm not doing that. I'm not where to be, like,
Second fiddle.
Yeah, just for straight politics in judo. There's a lot of it. A lot of the behind the scenes judo is what I never liked. It was all like Edinburgh Club or nothing, pretty much. And we were obviously Dundee boys. So I knocked it on the head, had my kid. Obviously, I met Joe, had another kid. But 2010, I'd had 2 kids. So yeah, it was.
What did you do? A couple of years in between where you just like let the hair down?
Yeah, I was partying. I was drinking a lot. I was like, I ended up going to the gym. I got a wee bit bigger. Ended up getting like quite fat as well. And then I decided I wanted to do something, and I think it was Darren Marney. Darren Marney sort of took me along to this place. He's like, we'll do this. We'll just do the conditioning classes. So I started off doing conditioning classes at DMMA, and I think it was you actually that says you can because I couldn't really make it. I could only make it that one day because I was coaching at the time, and you're like, come down on Saturday, and I started going down, and that was like fight team training at the time. And then
I just remember like when I was going there to train, and there was like loads of people. You probably didn't even ken anybody while I was there, but people knew about you, and they were like, "Oh, imagine getting Scott Malone in here!" Like he was, and topic of conversation. So like, I think maybe when I had seen you or whatever, it was just like always trying to drop it in the conversation. Come on, I mean, get your ass down there.
Yeah, I'm glad you invited us along here, because that was probably the best thing. That's what I think I learned the most for that, because that was when Billy used to take the classes and stuff, and it was just like, at the time, I'd obviously had the grappling experience, but I never had any striking whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like, I was learning how to strike, but I was learning how to strike the opposite way if I strike now. So I'm a southpaw now, but I was learning how to strike orthodox because I'm right-handed. So it was.
So when you fought judo, you're the other way about, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're strong hands in the front.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
right, okay.
My feet were the wrong way, so it felt weird. So I ended up saying to Billy, I was like, "This feels weird." And he's like, "Well, switch the other way then." So I was like, "Oh, okay." He's like, "It's made awkward for the other people." So I decided to become southpaw, and then it felt better moving around on my feet and stuff. So I just went for there and sort of never looked back. Still kind of strike to the day though.
Yeah, you hit that boy with a good strike. That. What was his name again? The
Adam Singer.
That's it.
Yeah.
I think he was shocked when he wasn't expecting that.
Nah, I don't think anybody was. I've worked a lot on my strike, and I feel I'm a lot confident on my feet now. I'm starting to switch back and forth between orthodox and southpaw and that now, because I feel comfortable in both stances because I'm still right-handed. You know what I mean? It's took a while to get there, but I feel really confident to just stand and tide with people rather than just grappling. Although I do feel I've got the advantage most of the time grappling. But then there's things that I do that are stupid and get you caught and choked.
Well, you started MMA, mate, but you went back to the judo, did you?
Yeah, I went back 2011. I think no, it was 2011. I went back and I ended up doing the Commonwealth trials at the end of 2011 for the 2012 Commonwealths, and then that was I think it was in January in Wales. So I ended up going there, and then I won it again. And I never really stuck around to do much judo. It was just a wee comeback sort of thing, just to keep us busy while I was doing MMA. I always wanted to focus more on MMA because I felt like I was learning more. See, like when you've done something so long, you don't feel like you know it all, but you feel like you can't really learn much. You can tighten up your skills,
Yeah.
but you're still not learning new sort of moves. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There's only so much you can do at judo. Whereas MMA has got this whole striking thing. It's got your footwork. It's got the grappling. It's got the takedowns. It's got, you know what I mean? There's everything that's involved in this, and there's loads of things that are just evolving and loads of different submissions, and like it's just now to this day I'm still picking up stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My mind gets boggled when I look at some jiu-jitsu stuff. I'm like, fucking hell, how did I do that?
Were you ever thinking about like career back then as well, kind of like when you were making that switch to MMA? Because money's a big part as well. Where judo is, you're very limited to how much you can earn, but again in MMA you've got to be up there to be earning some dough. But was that on your mind at the same time?
I've always said that I wanted to make someone up. If I'm going to do this, I wanted to make someone up because, as I was saying before, like I probably could have went to the Olympics without being fucking big-headed. If I had tried, I could have been in for a chance for London. That would have been my best chance, but I never even tried, and I sort of regretted not even trying. You know what I mean? So I decided that I'm in this for the long run, and I wanted to go all the way. Like at the time, I was only thinking UFC, and that was always on my mind. I was always wanting to be a pro fighter. I was always wanting to get to the UFC. Now, like my mind's open. There's other promotions out there. There's one championship. There's Bellator. You know?
Mate, do you know what? I'm loving the one championship. I'm loving the fact that the fighter's going to go for a weight cut.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing that I love about one championships. The fight at as close to the natural weight as possible.
Yeah, and they get hydration tests and everything, don't they, to make sure that they're not cheating or.
Yeah, hydration tests. So bantamweights, instead of being 61.2, it's 65.9. And so you get that extra weight. So if you're like me, and
that's massive, like that 4 or whatever kilo is massive difference, especially at that weight.
Yeah, that's it's usually about 4 kilo you would tip. Well, most people do a lot more, but most people will be about 4 kilo average, I would say, on and just sweat. You know what I mean? It's just all water weight. It's kind of pointless when you look at it. You're like, well, what's the point in losing all this weight to then put it back on? How do those fight at that weight in the first place? But there's always going to be people that are going to cheat the system. You know what I mean? So it's and it's sort of part of the whole. Like, I've got to fight. I've got to make weight. Whereas if you're in one championships, you don't need to really worry about your weight. You're obviously going to eat clean because you need to get to a certain weight. You know what I mean? Yeah. You're obviously going to eat clean anyway, but you've no need to worry about, I've got to go in the sauna and I've still got to cut another 3 kilos. You know what I mean? Sweaty sauna and sit in a salt bath and stuff like that. So, yeah.
What do you think about the one championship? How they have like different martial arts on the same night?
I think it's great. Obviously, people are wanting. No, everybody's just into MMA. Like for me, I love watching Muay Thai. You know what I mean? I absolutely love it. They'll have grappling things on it as well, so it's for everybody. It'll get the guys that are just want to see the Muay Thai fights, maybe interested in MMA. Yeah, you know what I mean? So
I love the guy. I can't remember his last name. I only know him because I heard him on the Joe Rogan podcast. His name's Liam. What's his name?
Liam Harrison.
Oh, what that guy! He's an absolute beast.
He's a beast. Like he was actually. I'm not want to say it because it's not happened yet. But he was actually due to come up to Omega in July.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Nice. So it's obviously no looking promising now, but he was due to come up in July. I was going to get him up for a seminar. And I would have been I know the place would have been packed out for that. Like,
Oh, definitely. Even people who aren't even Muay Thai fighters would be there just to see him.
Yeah. That was it. It was basically selfishness for me as well. I was just wanting him up so I could learn off him as well. You know what I mean?
That's it, is it?
Well, that's the joys of having your gym.
Let's jump back then, Scott, to the start of our MMA career. Talk me through it, what the journey was like.
So, first, I think I'd been training for a year, learning some sort of striking at the time. And I had the first amateur fight. So the first, when I was going amateur, the rules were different to what they were now. So amateur rules, you got amateur, then you got semi-pro, then you got pro. Whereas now it's just amateur and pro.
Right.
The rules were like amateur, there was no headshots whatsoever. So you couldn't punch him in the head standing, you couldn't punch him in the head on the ground. But you still had 4-ounce gloves on, which is pro gloves to these days. So I had one amateur fight like that. Won that fight, and that was in York. I went down to York and fought on Sloanie's cousin's show. And it was like the big massive thing, like Scotland v England. They made it out. I came out to the bagpipes, and I got booed to fuck. Every English person in the place was just like boo, and then the other guy came in and was like honestly, I remember like sitting there. I was like, oh my god, man, this is horrible. But at the same time, it lifted me up to want to win, and I ended up at Annenbar the boy in the second round or something. I think it was. I had a fight. I think it was about a month later, or maybe 2 months later. I got offered a fight. This was C class, so this was like normal amateur rules with 7-ounce gloves with head strikes. So I fought that, but that rule set suited me a wee bit more because I loved to like ground and pound. So I think I won that in the first round by guillotine. I think it was by mounted guillotine, and then a week later, I actually went out partying after it, and the week later I got a phone call on the Monday saying, "Do you want to fight on Saturday?" I was like, "Shit." Well, he's like, "You want to fight on Saturday for a belt?" So I was like, "Okay," but it was amateur rules, so it was back to the first rules that I fought. So I ended up, I went down and I won a decision. It was 2 rounds. I won a decision over the guy from there as well. I ended up with a belt, so it was my first belt. 3 fights in. I think after that I had another fight on Art of Combat, and that was against Stephen Cusick. And now Stephen Cusick had been around for a good while, and he was touted to be one of the sort of best guys. And in my fight, I think I beat him in the first round, but I think I hit him with 200 times. I'm trying to get the DVD. One of the guys for Art of Combat is going to send me the DVD, and I'm going to need to count it up. But it was like 200 times unanswered. I'd hit him like maybe a couple of times, then I'd move, and I'd hit him a couple of times, then I'd move. He never hit me once. And I actually, after I eventually got stopped. Stevie Ray was the referee, so Stevie Ray, if you're watching this, man, he gave him every opportunity that he could because he knew the guy. He never knew me at the time. But honestly, by the end of it, I was just like trying to lift my arms up and hit on. I was getting knackered just hitting him. Won the fight. After the fight, got put on oxygen, spewing. It was horrible. I was like shaking and everything, just like couldn't move. Got put on oxygen. So I think after that fight, I ended up getting offered for the belt. I think it was. Was it the belt? I think who else it would be. What would that be for? I can't mind. I was 6-1 as an amateur, but one of the ones was Aidan. I can't remember who else I fought. Oh, there was a guy on FFC for Ireland, Mark Andrews. He's good. He's a pro fighter now as well. I ended up beating him in the second round. Then that's when I got the belt shot for Art of Combat, and I beat Dean Begg within like 37 seconds.
I know Dino as well.
Yeah, so all these guys that I fought, like I still know them. They're all great guys, you know what I mean? And that for me is the fun thing about fighting. could fight somebody, you've just punched them in the face, you just kicked fuck at each other, and then you're pals after it.
Yep.
It's a weird sport. But
was it after that you went pro, Scott?
No, that was my second last fight before going pro. So I think it was 6-0 at the time. Then I fought Aidan Stephen. Again, he's a pro Cage Warriors fighter himself now. And I had a good fight. He won on decision, but he was ranked number 1 featherweight at the time, and we done like a day before weigh-in. Whereas amateur, you had to weigh in on the day. We done a day before weigh-in, so it was kind of like a pro fight without pro rules, but you still had your pro weigh-in and stuff. So we had the fight. He won on decision. It was a close decision. Good fight though. Again, me and Aidan are really good pals. We've trained together quite a lot. Hey, good crack. It's funny. He's one of the funniest guys out there. Like, but yeah. So I lost that fight, and then I went pro. So the pro career, obviously, I decided to fight the weight below at 57 kilo, and that was absolutely brutal. Like really bad. Yeah. So I was looking like a skeleton on the scales, and I got beaten that fight as well. So that was 2 losses that came off. So at the time, round about that time, I was with my pal, obviously, Grant Adams. He passed away at that time as well. So it was like, I sort of had to be, every fight that I sort of had, because I'd been working before, I'd only ever have the summer holidays off. So it was like always fighting. I was always training through the summer holidays. Yeah. Like, right, I enjoy my summer holidays. I had to be break. Then I got back on it. I got new management. I got offered a fight. Took the fight. Ended up winning that within, I think it was 30 seconds or something like that. And that was when I got offered down for quite a big fight. Guy's really good. He's now a champion in that promotion that I fought him on, CFFC. So his name's Adam Bramold, and he'd already beat, you know, Kev Loban. He'd beat Kevin Loban up on a big show up in here on ACB, it was called. So I ended up beating him. I was speaking to his coaches after it. He was like, "You were just brought down here for him to beat up." So I ended up beating him in the first round, and then that's when I sort of offered the Cage Warriors contract. So obviously got signed to Cage Warriors.
Because there was a time for a good while after that wee run that you went on, that it was you struggled to find an opponent, didn't you? People wouldn't want to fight you.
I was getting fights, and then people were pulling out, and then I was getting offered fights, and then they were saying no, and then again I think I had like 11 pullouts or something. I think it was, which is like, I'm sure it's a record for UK MMA. Like,
what's life like? Can you paint the picture? What is life like when these type of things happen? Because you're training your ass off, really working towards a date, working towards another step on the ladder to changing your life, and these kind of just gets pulled out from underneath you.
It's every emotion you can think of, because you've done everything. You're cutting weight. Like one of the fights, I was supposed to fight one of the guys that's recently beat us, Jack Cartwright. I was supposed to fight him, and he pulled out on the Thursday, which is the day before weigh-in day. Yeah. And I was on weight. Yeah. And he pulled out, and I was like, for fuck's sake. Like, I was on weight. Literally, it was like 8 o'clock at night. I was ready to go to my bed to wake up the next day to go and weigh in. And so that was probably the worst one. Because I was fighting at 60 kilo for that one as well. So it was an extra kilo lighter than I normally fight. But yeah, it was just.
How many weeks progresses went into that?
Usually, your fight camps is 8 weeks, so 8 to 10 weeks, depending on who you are. You know what I mean? If you like a longer camp, some people will start their camp, but they're technically no started it. They're just coming sort of back training. Although you should be training all the time. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it just depends. If you're fit, you can do fight camps 4 weeks, 6 weeks. It's up to yourself. Some people will take late notice fights. Some people will not take late notice fights. Yeah. But yeah, we ended up. Yeah, every emotion under the sun pretty much is fucking what it was like. But you've just got to go on to the next. I was getting used to it. It was happening that much. I was getting used to it, and I was getting sick of it. And then that's when Cage Warriors offered us the one fight. one-fight deal. So I went in, I trained my fucking ass off for that fight. It's probably like one of the best shapes I've ever been in. That's when I started training with Adam and stuff.
Yeah.
Felt fit. I felt fitter than I ever have. I went in and I was just wanting to ride out a win, because I knew if I won, I would have got a contract. So I was happy to just play it safe, sit on top, just ground and pound, and just no go mental like I usually do. But yeah, I ended up getting the win, and then I got offered a 5-fight contract, so went for there pretty much. So next fight was...
You were fighting 3 fights. You were fighting, was it 3 fights and you were fighting for the title?
3 fights, yeah. The next fight was, I got offered a guy, what was his name? Corey Tate. Then he pulled out. He pulled out literally, this is when I went over to Team Alpha Male. He pulled out literally the day that I landed in America. So I was kind of gutted. I was like, for fuck's sake, I've just paid all this money to get here, and he's pulled out. So they ended up getting another guy, and then he pulled out. So I ended up getting another guy, and that was I think that was Adam Amasinger. So I got that fight, and he was like touted to be the next.
Yeah, because he was meant to be the next up and coming. Because he's part of is it Dan Hardy's?
Yeah, Dan Hardy. Trains under Dan Hardy. Yeah,
yeah.
He's a good guy. Again, every guy that I fought, I speak to them and got nothing bad to say about them. You know what I mean? Like every single person that I fought.
Yeah.
And ended up obviously knocking him out in the, was it the third round? Third round? Yeah, it started the third round. And then I got offered Josh Reed. Now, a year before that, I'd sort of called out Josh Reed on Cage Warriors. This is before he even got signed for Cage Warriors. I was calling him out. And I was like, basically calling him out, and he just ignored it. And so I called out for the fight again, and they offered me. He actually came at me for the fight. His coach, he's like, "How about Josh Reed on the next one?" I was like, "I've been calling for that fight for ages." Yep. So he's like, "Yeah." So I think I won that fight in a minute and 50 seconds or something, and then that's when I called for the title and ended up getting the title shot against Jack. And obviously Jack's UFC bound now, but another great guy. Like you know what I mean? He beat me in the third round. No, was it third round? Yeah, third round. He called back second round.
Well, he's a decent fighter, isn't he?
Yeah, he's now 13-0. You know what I mean?
13-0.
13-0 with it being good.
Has he had a fight in the UFC? One. He's had one, has he?
Had one, and he won it. Yeah. I think he's possibly got a fight coming up on Fight Island, or he's looking to fight on that Fight Island.
Nice.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how far he goes, because he was ranked number 1 in Europe, pound for pound, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
Europe, Scott, like is his dad's coach? Is that his dad's gym? It's all.
Yeah, his dad's been his coach, I think, for years. I think he's done MMA since he's been about 12 or something. Yeah, maybe even younger. You know what I mean? But his dad's his coach, and he's a great guy. I was actually going to go down and train with him before all this lockdown carry on.
Yeah.
In my last fight, I think it was, I was going to go down, but I couldn't get down because obviously Joe does uni and stuff. So I would have basically ruined her uni plans. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we couldn't really make it down, but I would still like to go down, train with him.
Yep. Cool. I was actually jogging with Joe. We were at jogging last week, a couple of weeks ago, and he's now telling me that he's want to get into the fight now.
Yeah, bring him along.
I was like, what's made you think differently now? He was like, well, I just always worried about like getting my face messed up in that can. And I was like, well, you're not so bothered now. He's like, I'm not really bothered anymore. I'm just going to go for it.
He's a handsome face, mate. He's like, well, Scots can do it, you know.
I didn't hit that problem. So title fight, mate. It was a proper tough fight. Mm-hmm. And as you say, Ken, he's went on now fighting in the UFC, and they're expecting big things for him, are they?
Yeah, I think he'll do really good in the UFC. Like, mm-hmm. It was a close fight as well until that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was. I'd say I probably took the first round. He probably edged the second round, and then he choked. I threw a kick and he caught my leg, and as I sort of put my leg down, he threw me over, and just basically landed.
Did that surprise you? Because like going into that fight, I wouldn't have expected him to have submitted you.
Well, came up. See, the whole thing too that we were working up through the camp was back. We knew he choked it like 8 guys. You know what I mean? With the same sort of choke.
Yep.
So we'd worked that, but the way it sort of landed, he was like, I was flat. You know what I mean? And he what really surprised me about Jack was his takedown defense. Because I think it was in the first round, I tried to take him down. I was like, fucking hell, this guy's got good balance. You know what I mean? Usually I'm like taking him down quite, not easily, but just a wee bit better. You know what I mean? But he really surprised me about how hard he was to take down. But yeah, he's a good guy. I hope he does well.
Good. So, mate, we are now free on the bounce. But what I want to kind of is like, mentally, how have you been able to deal with that?
Mentally, to be honest, I went through really shit times after Jack Shore fight. I was so confident that I was going to win that fight. And I felt like that was my ticket to the UFC. And it sort of broke my heart. You know what I mean? It was like, I was totally gutted. I was in a really fucking dark place. I was greeting a couple of nights, like fucking just to Joe, and I'm like, fucking, what am I going to do? Blah, blah. And it was horrible, but you obviously need to pick yourself up and get back on the train, or you're just going to sit and pity yourself all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was just like, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to get back in the training. Decided to go and fight again. I got offered the title for the 4-man tournament again. Then obviously got fucking sparked out in the first round. And then again, I had to go through that again. You know what I mean? So it was like, it was kind of worse that with Jack Cartwright, because I never got into the fight.
Yeah.
He caught a cold, and it was like, fuck. Whereas I take the loss that I got for Jack quite. It was like, yeah, he was the better guy on the night. You know what I mean? Whereas I think the Jack Cartwright, he caught me really cold. Yeah. And even my last fight as well, like I felt like I totally dominated the first round, and I done something stupid. I just tried to take him down, like grabbing his leg, and he wrapped his leg around my arm and ended up choking me as well. It was just, I think I've been pretty unlucky, but yeah, like the mental aspect's been pretty hard, to be honest. It's I've just got to sort of, I think after the last fight, I decided like, this is it. I'm not going to train. I'm not going to do MMA. I'm just going to be a coach or whatever. Focus on the guys for the gym. But then obviously lockdown happens. You realise that you miss actually training. You miss fucking wanting to fight. I think for me, it's like, I like setting goals. I like to work to something rather than like, because I've got nothing on. I'm like,
I'm the same.
Here. Yeah. Like, as I was saying earlier on, like fucking, you get up and I'm like, right, I'm going to run a marathon. So we decided to run a marathon.
You're touching on, I've got to come back to that in a minute actually. But because what I was going to say is, obviously somebody who you trained with, Cody Carbrandt, has just basically, I mean, seeing him win the other night must give you confidence, because he's come off the back of 3 losses as well. He's a former champion of the UFC, but just to see somebody else go through that and then bounce back, you must be feeling quite all right again.
I've seen Cody's skills, man, and he is world class. You know what I mean? He's not wasn't a UFC champion by luck. You know what I mean? And to see him lost the way he lost a couple of times, especially the Pedro Mendes fight, he just got caught on like a brawl. You know what I mean? He was just going in there. He was just swinging, whereas he's actually technically a really good fighter.
Yeah.
So like to see him win again, obviously it was, for me, it was like, fucking hell, that was really uplifting. You know what I mean? The way he won as well, obviously, was great. Yeah. But yeah, like just,
I think he just, like, obviously I'm not an MMA expert or whatever, but just obviously but I've watched that. I watch watch other UFCs and I watched all his fights. And you're right, Ken, he was in there just like angry, really trying to hurt TJ Dillashaw and Mendes.
TJ Dillashaw, I think he was too emotional in the fights.
Yeah. But when he fought the other night, everything was like slowed down. He was composed.
Yeah, he looked the best he's ever looked the other night, like the other week, sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does give you that sort of kick up ass. Like he's coming off 3 losses. So how can I not come off 3 losses? You know what I mean? And before, like when I came off the 2 losses, I went on a six fight win streak. You know what I mean? Got to a Cage Warriors title. So that's
I don't know. Here, you think about people like Nate Diaz and stuff like that, well, like multi-millionaires had unbelievable careers, and he's like 30 and 16 or something.
I mean, ridiculous. Like,
yeah.
I'm just the only thing for me at the moment is I'd obviously like to get signed on a big promotion where I could be financially stable, at least. You know what I mean? Where I'm getting a decent amount of money. No offense to Cage Warriors, because the show itself and the exposure and that you get is amazing.
Amazing,
like, you're took care of when you're down there. It's always good hotels. You know what I mean? It's like.
It's frozen. Somebody trying to phone me?
No,
you froze there. Sorry, mate. On you go.
Joe just says turn the Wi-Fi off. Yeah, I'm on 4G just now, so it should be all right. What was I saying? But Cage Warriors is great, but they take care of you, but the money was terrible. Like $1,000. I was getting $1,000 a fight.
Yeah.
And it sounds to your average person, it'd be like, I'd love to fight for £1,000. You know what I mean? But you spend probably double that at least during a fight camp just in Scotland. You know what I mean? Just traveling to places and stuff like that, and your food and your everything else. It's going to be. You're spending all that anyway.
Yeah.
So by the time it hits that point, and you've got like things like your safe MMA and stuff, you've got to get brain scans. You've got to get that. That costs like £700 as well. So there's £300 that you're really getting in your pocket.
Yeah.
It's
that's when you need to rely on sponsorships and stuff like that to try and help you through.
That's it. I think a lot of fighters will depend heavily on sponsorship until they're getting on big promotions like One Championships, Bellator, UFC. You know what I mean? They're the only places that are paying decent. I think Brave. I'm not sure if you've heard the Brave, but I think they pay quite decent as well. Some shows will pay all right, but they're not going to pay more than $1,000. If that, you know what I mean, you'd be lucky if you can get close to that.
Yeah. So it's like you just got to eat it up with a view. This is my ticket.
Yeah, that's it. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that I can get on a big promotion. I'm going to see where I'm going. That's what I'm going to start training now. I'm going to just hopefully a wee opportunity arises where.
He's froze again.
Hello?
Yes, you're back. Yeah. Is that you back on the live?
That's it. So, like UFCs that have been coming up, obviously they've been behind sort of closed doors and that. Guys are getting pulled in for other promotions because they can't really get any other fighters to be there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So other people are getting their shot unexpectedly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So hopefully that's what's going to happen. I'm going to start training, hopefully get fit and take that opportunity if it comes. I'd rather be fit, and if the opportunity comes, then I'm going to be able to take it rather than being unfit and I'm got offered this fucking opportunity and then I'll probably take it either way, but I'll not be as fit and that could lose me a fight. You know what I mean? So I'd like to know that I'm putting myself in the best position possible.
Brilliant. What's the biggest learning then, Scott, from your defeats and having the time out?
For the defeats, well, I've been choked out for rear naked choke, so definitely some defence on that. But yeah, just keep going, man. Until you're no happy doing something, then you know what I mean. I'm still happy competing, fighting, training, doing what I do. So until when I'm not happy, that's when I'm going to keep going until then.
Brilliant. I love it. I love it. So you went to touch on something that me and you have actually got in common.
Yeah.
Well, marathon.
Spur of the moment.
Talk us through it. I'll tell you about mine.
So I think I posted up on Facebook. I was like, quite fancy doing a marathon. And this was like, I was just speaking in general. And then Kieran Laidlaw popped up. He's like, do you want to do it the morning? I was like, all right. He's like, fuck it, we'll do it. We'll just go for it. I was like, right, okay. So we just that was it. We just set off and we just went away, started running. And I think we got 4 hours, 54 minutes, I think it was. We done it in. But it's at times, see if I'd never done it with Kieran, I'd probably stop. If I was on my own, it would have been a whole different battle if I was on my own. Yeah. And I think he would have been the same because he was at points where he's like, I'm fucked. I can't go anymore. And I'm like, come on. Whereas I was like, oh, I'm fucked. My legs, my groin, my hips. He's like, right, we'll just keep going. We'll go to this point and we'll go up to here. So I think we ran 13 miles quite easily. We got into 13 miles. We stopped and had a wee bite to eat for about maybe a minute. And then we'll set off again. And we stupidly went up this massive brae at seeing Moneyfeith, the Esso garage. Yeah. Directly after that, it's a big steep hill. That was on like mile 15 or something. And that was absolutely brutal. So we got to the top of that and we're like, right, we'll just walk for here. So we ended up walking a mile to 17 miles. And then we started jogging again. And I think we hit 19. And that's when Kieran's legs are just like started cramping up and everything. So we stopped again, had a wee stretch, just kept on walking, got ourselves together and we're like, right, let's go. I think we got about another mile. I'm like, oh, fucking hell, we need to walk again. So we hit 20 mile and we're just like, right, we'll just walk the rest. So we ended up, I think we walked 4 mile, I think it was. And even walking was painful itself. But we kept on going. We ended up, I think it was 2 miles out. We're like, right, we'll just run the rest. And we ended up, when I started running for the last bit, I was like, fucking hell, I feel actually better. So the last 2 miles, I actually ran it pretty fast. But we're getting to like half a mile or something in to the end. And I was like, fucking hell, is that it yet? Is that it yet? Is that it yet? He was like, like, that's only 25 mile, another mile. I was like, fucking hell. But I eventually finished it. 5 hours, 54 minutes, I think it was. But that wasn't about the time. It was more for both of us, just mentally, just to keep on going.
Just to see what
I remember watching your Instagram story, you doing it.
Mate, like I seen or listened to David Goggins. Heard David Goggins?
Mm-hmm.
David Goggins, so Royal Marine. Well, when he got out the what was he? No, Navy SEAL. He was Navy SEAL. Sorry, he got out the SEALs and he ran 100 miles. And he was telling a story about like he basically kind of sit down. He was eating like rice cakes. He'd shit himself. He was peeing blood. And he just like ran 100 miles off the bat. And I was like just thinking to myself, well, if he could run 100 miles, I could run a marathon. Right. And then I went, right, I'm running a marathon in the morning. And I decided to video it. It's actually on YouTube. It's actually on my YouTube channel if anybody wants to go and watch it.
I remember going and watching it. Like I watched it going through, and I think that's always what's been in there. Seeing you doing it, and I was like, well, if he could do it, I could do it.
That's it. But it was about 21 miles for me, mate. And I remember I was coming down the Kingsway. I was beside the Swallow Hotel, and it was like a blacked-out on my feet. I was still walking. I was only walking at this time, but it was like a blacked-out on my feet, and it was like, and then I sort of came to again, and I was like, right, that's it. And I phoned Janine. So I was like, Janine, you're going to need to come and pick us up. And she was like, nah, I can't come. No, she didn't answer. And then when she did answer, she phoned us back or something. She was like, nah, I'm not coming to pick you up, man. So that was like a wee sign. I was like, well, you're going to I would run out of water. I'd run out of everything. I was like, you're definitely going to need to bring us water then. And she didn't get the water test till about 25 miles. So. But here, mate, the recovery on the back of that was horrendous.
Oh, it's horrible. See, like my groin, like that was the worst part for me was the groin. As like lifting your feet forward was, like sitting on a chair. See, to lift your feet off the ground.
Yeah.
For me, it was brutal. Like, see, normally when you get DOMs for doing squats and stuff, it'd be like walking down the stairs that hurts the most. But this was like anytime I lifted my leg trying to go up the stairs, I was like, fucking hell, going up the stairs sideways and then going up my arse. Yeah. Oh, it's horrible, man.
But here, it just goes to show you that how much your body can actually go through it. Because I mean, you're the same as me. You'd only ran like 10K before, and and your body can just do so much more than you actually think it can.
Mind over matter, man.
Mind over matter. Yes. So, mate, we have a couple of weeks left of this in lockdown. Mm-hmm. Obviously, you've got a brand new business, which is well, just getting the doors open, and then this has happened. Yeah. Well, what's that going to look like over the next few weeks coming out?
It's actually like, obviously, when we opened the business, we kind of rushed it. So there was things that were not finished. There was bits of floor that had not been finished. There was equipment that we hadn't had. There was like just stupid loads of wee things that were needing painted and stuff. But when I was there, I was coaching, so I couldn't have come in and do any of that. But at the time, we had this place that we had to pay for.
Yeah.
So we had to open it to bring in some money. You know what I mean? So this has actually paid off to be quite well. We got the grant, and that's been able to buy like rowing machines and loads of strongman stuff, and like just loads of different stuff that we probably wouldn't have had. You know what I mean? Yeah. We've got all the changing rooms are finished, toilets are finished, we've got hot water, we've got showers, we've got, you know what I mean? It's just everything just seems to be sort of slotting in together now, and it was annoying at the start because it was like things were just starting to pick up. And then we've had to go back. Well, now we'll probably go back to square one, you know what I mean? But depends how this is going to be. It could either be one or two ways. It could be like, well, I'm doing home workouts now, so I'll not need a gym. Or it could be like, I fucking need a gym, so everybody could swap in, you know what I mean? It's probably going to be like that. I'm guessing it's going to be loads of people coming in, so.
Yeah. I believe people just kind of wait to get back to normal. Yeah. Especially people who are used to training and stuff like that, man. They're just like, oh, get me back in there. And it's not just about going and training and you're there yourself. It's the community aspect of it. And it's being around other guys. Then it's the whole.
That's what we always say. Like Omega, it's always the Omega family. Like everybody's a family because we've got kids in that coach there. Then we've got their kids. The kids, mums and dads will be training, and then you know what I mean. They've got like cousins that are there and stuff. So it's like a big sort of family. So it's good. It's amazing. We've got a lot more stuff. The gym side of things as well. So I'm hoping to drag more people in for like just the gym side rather than just the MMA side, because I think a lot of people just think it's just an MMA gym, whereas we've got half of the gyms for MMA, half of the gyms or more than half of the gyms an actual gym. You know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to it, man.
Let's plug it then, mate. Let's plug it. What classes are going on? Who could go?
So on Instagram, if you go and follow on Instagram, it's Omega_MMA_training. And Facebook's Omega MMA Strength and Conditioning, I think it is. But yeah, go along, like the page, follow the gym. You'll see what's happening, see everything that's getting done. You'll see everything that's been done. It's a nice looking gym. The place has changed so much because when we got it was just an empty shell. Had to get all the floor screeded, had to get loads of stuff done to the gym, had to get the roof fixed. You know what I mean? Just all the stuff that you would imagine when you wouldn't even think of, we've had to do. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting it back. I think the gyms, we're now I think this is phase 2 on Monday or something, is it?
Phase 2, I think, yeah.
Thursday. So gyms are open in phase 3, but phase 4 before you're allowed any contact. So we're in the middle now. I've just built a scaffold outside to hang bags on. So we're going to hit a big scaffold with like 2 meter gaps so people can hit the bags outside. We've got loads of new bags for inside to bring in once we're allowed to do that as well. So it's going to be banging when we're back in.
That's brilliant, mate. Brilliant. So I kind of spoke to you before, but I'm definitely I've been totally intrigued by Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for such a long time, mate. And I've sort of, during this lockdown period, it's like the penny sort of dropped, where I've been like, I need something for myself as well, because you get so busy and you're caught up in life, and you're like, wait a minute, what do I actually do or have for myself? So that's definitely.
The majority of people that do jiu-jitsu, when they come along to do jiu-jitsu, that's them for life. They're like, it's one of these sports where it's like you'll sort of fall in love with it, and it's for everybody. Like my business partner Paul, he does jiu-jitsu. That's how we sort of got to meet him. He does jiu-jitsu and only does jiu-jitsu, but he does strength and conditioning, and he's like super qualified in all the gym stuff. That's what's good about us, you know what I mean? So he does that, and I don't want to say his age, but he's older than me, you know what I mean? And he's still doing it away fine. You know what I mean? So it's sort of, at any age, it's something that you don't need to be going and competing. You know what I mean? You can do it, and you can just enjoy it. You can your goals could be to get your next belt. You know what I mean? Your goal could be to tap as many people in that one night, for example. You know what I mean? But you're always learning jiu-jitsu. I'm still learning to this day, man.
Yeah. What I love about it is, obviously I've never done it, but what I love about it when I hear people speaking about it, like Joe Rogan, like goes on, but even like Russell Brand, I've been listening a lot about Russell Brand recently, and he's just got himself he just got his blue belt, and he's just on about like going back to learning something for absolute scratch again, and being that absolute beginner, needing to get out of your comfort zone, turning up, and people are just throwing you about like an empty carrier bag, and then just seeing them incremental improvements kind of every time that you're going back, and that's what I need in my life again, something like that.
You see improvements every time you're going, you know what I mean? And I think some people sometimes will get put off because maybe 2 people have came along at the same time, but this person's getting better quicker. You know what I mean? But it's not really about that. It's about sort of like a journey, as a lot of people say in jiu-jitsu. It's all about the journey. And it doesn't necessarily need to be better than that person, because this guy might go here and then you're slowly keeping up, and you might go ahead of him. You know what I mean? It just depends how hard you work, how much time you're putting in, and how much you're just athletic. Some people are just athletically fucking gifted. You know what I mean? Whereas other people will take a wee bit longer to sink in. And when it does sink in, it clicks. You know what I mean? Then that's it. They get up there.
Class, mate. Scott, is there anything else you want to add?
Just like to say a wee thanks to my sponsors.
Yeah.
Especially this man's done a lot for me.
Brilliant.
I'll get these on. I keep on going the wrong way because my camera's the wrong way. Pull these in.
Excellent. Really, there, go that way a wee bit.
Plug them out. There we go.
Excellent.
Thank you very much.
Where else do people follow you, Scott?
On Instagram, Scotty Boom Boom. Well, Scotty _Boom Boom. Facebook athlete page is Scott Boom Boom Malone, I think it is, or Scott Malone, one of the two. Or he follows him.
So, guys, any questions for Scott before we tune off? Fire the questions into the box now, and we'll see if we could get them answered before he goes. For me, thanks so much for tuning in. If you could share this, that would be outstanding. Another banger of a story, and we'll wish you all the best, Scotty boy, for coming back.
Enjoyed it. I've been watching all your things. I've really enjoyed them, man.
Top man. We'll see. We'll get a couple of seconds, see if anybody jumps in with any questions.
Maybe you want to ask about my lockdown haircut, innit?
Yeah, I think I might bleach my beard actually.
Yeah.
I might bleach it right up.
I went a bit nuts at the start. Like, I started to shave my hair, tried to dye my beard pink, dyed my hair blonde. It's not really grown back.
See your question. Kids classes. What ages and times, Scott? Rudy is dying to be a fighter like her uncle.
So kids classes are usually around, they're different times each day, but around about 5 p.m. in Perth. If you want to find Omega, you can go on Google as well. Just type it in, it's on Google Maps. But all ages from 5 and above is usually what we take them. I think a wee bit younger, it's kind of hard.
Where is the club? So go on Google Maps. Omega Fight. Was it Omega?
Omega MMA Strength and Conditioning. And I'll pop up.
Where about in Perth exactly is it, Scott?
It's down Shore Road, if anybody knows where that is. It's sort of underneath the Friarton Bridge. So if you go over the Friarton Bridge, you could actually see it from up there.
Up the side of the prison then? When you're going in, you drive up the side of the prison?
If you're coming in, say for Dundee, and you go past the prison, you can go past the prison and up a hill and then go left, but if you're coming from the prison and you're going back to Dundee, you would go right sort of behind, past the ice factory. So it's on that road, so you keep on going round and then you take a left in the road. And it's quite a hard place to find, to be honest. It's even on the maps, it doesn't really come up too well. So it is a hard place to find, but any questions, just fire them on like a Facebook page or an Instagram page, and there's always somebody that'll run it to try and direct you where you're going.
We've got Madando, can't wait to see this in. This must have been at the start of the live. Can't wait to see this in. Scott's my mate. One more. What do you think you'll be doing in 10 years' time?
10 years' time. I'll be 42. Hopefully living on a beach somewhere. I'd like to, obviously my son's 9. I'd like to see where he is and see what they're up to by that time. Might be a granda by that time. Hopefully not. We're staying in Dundee.
Cool, my man. Spot on, Scott. Guys, thanks a lot. As I said, remember, share the broadcast. That would be spot on. If you are on YouTube watching this live, hit that subscribe button. Have a good one. Peace out.
Cheers, mate.